Hi, I'm Katie Todd, and on this episode we're going to introduce the wonderful Mark Dunn. And he is here to help bring some issues that we get from you. We always want to hear from you. Tell us what's going on in your life. This is the mailbag segment, if you like. Now, it's all my show, so it's just a ring in, and he's my prop for today. No, he's a wonderful, wonderful man, great friend, and loves this work that we're doing. So Mark, who have we got today, and what's the issue? Is it a tricky one?
Welcome to Katie's Mailbag. And today we have a young lady who's written into Katie, and I'll just read it to you, so here we go. Dear Katie, I am a married woman who just turned 30. I have a 3-year-old daughter. Since I have had her, my sexual drive, libido has really gone down the drain. It is really frustrating me because I used to be very sexual. I like the attention I got from other males, and I am not feeling like I used to. My husband wants sex, and I am not really ever in the mood. I feel stuck at home with my daughter, who is very clingy, and I can't get anything done for me. How can I get my libido back and be the sexual person that I know I am? Feeling frumpy and frustrated. Angela.
I think any of us who have been new parents, particularly mums, I'm a mum of 3, can relate to Angela. So do not feel alone there, first of all. There's several things that I think we can talk about here, and I'll get you to make sure I don't miss anything, Mark.
I will.
That she's referred to, because I want to cover everything that you take the trouble to tell us about. I want to try and cover everything. The first thing that's really interesting is your relationship with your own body changes when you become a mum. It's sort of not your body anymore. There's this other being, and particularly if you're breastfeeding, they're attached to you all the time. But more importantly than that is your sense of self, who you are. She's a sexy young lady. She may have had the Aphrodite archetype, the princess. She liked to be attractive. She got her sense of self-esteem from being attractive to men. But is that appropriate for a young mother? I can almost hear the voice in her head. It's not appropriate for a young mother to be doing that. And so what you've done, Angela, is you've shut that part down. You've gone, as we all can do, into a mother should be, and you've got a list in your head that I should behave in a certain way now that I am a mother. And part of that is not a sexual being. Hopefully we don't see our parents as being very sexual when we're kids growing up. Not appropriate. However, if it's a functional and a happy relationship, they are sexual. But you may have learnt, we all have learnt some very powerful messages from our parents about sexuality, particularly older generation. There was a lot of cultural, social expectations. And so for a mother, you are not supposed to be sexual. And without even realising it, this can happen when you get married. I'm a single person, then I get married, and suddenly you shut down and you become like a married woman. It's like the archetype of a married woman. And you change, you lose yourself. Angela, you've lost some of yourself. What I would recommend to you is to recapture some of that spunky, lovely lady that you were. Have a bit of fun. Now, you can be a bit flirtatious. I hope you flirt till you're 96, quite frankly. But don't go over the line. You also need to get back into your body. You need to be doing some sort of exercise. I'd recommend that you have some massage, that you get back in touch with the touch aspect of your body where you waken the sensuality. You may not feel like having sex, and I say this to all women. Get over yourselves, ladies. You need to be having a lot more sex. It's good for you. Women use sex as a power tool with men. And they use the withholding of sex as a power thing with men. And it is really dysfunctional, and it is not on. It is not okay. Men will live a lot longer if they have sex 4 times a week, and you'll be a lot happier as well. You need it for the endorphins. You need it for the love. You need it for the reassurance. It is vital that you put yourself out there. Let's face it. Many times you'll have sex and you think, I can't be bothered. Within 10 minutes you're really happy you tried. Okay, you're glad you went there. Realise it is not an added extra. It is an essential. Let go. Maybe write down all the things that, a mother should, or my mother taught me about when I'm a mother I should. And she may not have said that. It might be just what you've intuited or picked up or what you've thought. And look at that and go, I don't need to be like that. Angela, the mother, is a sexy woman. She's a loving mother. She may put her child in daycare for a few days a week, or swap with a mum and say, I'll have Wednesday afternoons off and you have Thursday mornings off, and have that time for herself. You need to take responsibility to look after yourself well. And we all need to learn this balance when new mothers. When you start liking yourself better and getting it right for you, you'll be getting it right for your child and getting it right for your husband, which means getting it right for your family. It centres on you, get it right for you. If there's anything else that we can add, let us know. If I missed anything there, Mark.
No, but I guess for most of the males out there, the great thing...
You're happy I said
the great thing is,
minimum of 4 times a week, ladies.
I think that's wonderful, actually.
I do. No, I'm actually deadly serious.
Yeah, but seriously, though, I think a lot of women struggle with when they do become mothers, and how do I maintain the loving relationship that I have with my partner now that I have this other person?
You're split.
Yes, and do you feel sexual, and what are the things that, do you have any tips? You gave some good ones there, but any more tips that
I would say to the husband, make more effort to make your wife feel sexual. Have some date time. Have some date time. My husband and I always have time alone. We're very fortunate. Each weekend we'll have that time, and it's date time. You know, when you're a couple just together, you get back to going to a movie or going for a drink or having a dinner with friends. If you can't afford much, order in a pizza and get Nana to look after the baby. Mums, please don't get into this, I've got to be with my child all the time. It's dysfunctional, it's needy, and you are hurting yourself. You know, you've got to put the time in and the effort. Put that investment in. You can have some fun. Guess what? You can actually be happy as a mum and have balance where you have time apart from your child, and then when you see them, you can't wait to be with them. I know my children benefit from that when I'm in balance myself. Sex matters, but we have to put the effort in. Be generous. I've talked on other episodes about the actions of love, the acts of generous. Am I being generous or not? And I would recommend that even when you don't feel like it, get over the line. Bring in some sex toys. Have a bit of fun to help get you there quicker. Be a bit playful with it. It's a really good tool. There's nothing to be ashamed of. Love your body, whatever shape it is, and I guarantee you'll lose some extra pounds too if you are liking your body. Like it however it is. My God, I was 4 sizes bigger than this, ladies, when I had my babies. I breastfed for 2.5 years, all of them, and as I breastfed, I just got bigger. It was just disgusting. Never mind, we get there in the end. You have to love the body you've got. It is a sexual thing. You are loved and adored for who you are. And get back to that. Like your body. Lots of massaging each other. Maybe you don't have to go all the way with the sex, but have lots of touch. Lots of kissing, lots of just tenderness and time together every week alone. I guarantee you will find that helps, and get back into your body with some movement, whatever it is that works.
Yeah, I'd like to just point out just one thing that you said which just resonated for me, was that the husbands, males, partners, you need to get involved in actually, and not just saying, because I think sometimes males see once their partners have children, they then take them out of their own mindset and say, well, you're now a mom, you're no longer a sexual diva, or whatever, you know. And so, but yeah, so that's
they keep going to stuff about their mothers and their childhood. See, we keep going back to that stuff unconsciously. Break it down. Let's rewrite the rules for you as a couple, your own fit. We as a couple are like this, not like my mum and dad, not like your mum and dad. And you can laugh when you slip into that. The husband can also fall into the hurt child where he feels a bit neglected.
Yeah.
You know, understandably so. Then the woman feels a bit neglected because he doesn't treat me now like I'm a sexual woman. There's a bit of grieving happens as you're changing roles. All of them are important. You can actually be all of these things. You don't have to sacrifice one for the other.
So I would just like to say thank you, Angela,
Absolutely.
for writing in, and encourage everyone who's watching Katie Todd TV to ask Katie, and I'll get the pleasure, and Katie will get the pleasure of speaking to you about whatever it is that you have on your mind.
Thank you, that's great.